Hey guys, Desolate Magic here. Sorry the mega rant is getting delayed because I've got to do my year-end tax crap. I'm way behind. It was supposed to be due yesterday and it's not even going to get done today. So after this recording and editing, I'm going to go in my basement and do math for 8 hours. If I survive, there'll be a video tomorrow. But for now, we've got some spoilers from Time Spiral Remastered, and also word is going around on the internet and some of the contacts I have that paying about $180 a box should be approximately expected. So, you know, not the 205 to 250-ish, depending upon popularity, of course, that we've seen with older Masters sets. But, I mean, definitely double the cost of a standard booster box, that's for sure. So is the set worth enough to justify that? It's looking like absolutely no. Like, unequivocally no so far. In the last video, I covered like, I don't know, 25 or so of the time-shifted cards, and I think not a single one of them was worth above $2 or like $4 or something. It's terrible. Basically no jackpot cards. We already know of like one or two that were spoiled up front, but like, okay, cool. 1 out of 121 at a high rarity. Good luck. Unless all 121 are printed exactly evenly, but I have a feeling that they're adjusted by their original rarity. We'll see. Even if it's even, it looks like crap. So today, I haven't quite looked at these yet, going to do it in real time. We'll see if that improves. We'll see if we can at least get some $10 cards in the purple rarity slot. But also, in addition to the time-shifted cards, I also threw in the mythics that we've seen so far because, well, should be some money in that too. So let's start with a classic card, Gurmag Angler. Now this is from Fate Reforged. It's a really, really good card. I actually used to have this, I think, in a modern deck at one point. I think it was in Black Death and then I replaced it with something better, but good card, but only 25 cents. Next up, oh wow, it's Ley Line of the Void. Okay, I didn't really look at these while I was saving them even to my folder. I guess we could be surprised together if you haven't looked at them. That's, I mean, right now about a $7 card. So, I mean, this would bring it probably down to about $3-4. So more of a famous noteworthy card than a big money card, but I think that just about ties anything we've seen so far. Next up, Sanguine Bond, the least expensive piece of the 2-card infinite combo, making this, of course, about a $2 to $3 card. The other piece of it is, at least $20-30, I think. It was recently reprinted, but it's the more expensive one. I like this card personally, though. Next up, famous BFZ card. Everybody played this. It's Zulaport Cutthroat. Still only about a $1 card, and I think this won't do good things to its price. Next up, the strangely not quite banned yet, but we'll see, Dismember. Even the original new Phyrexian version of this card is only $2.50. So, you know, as famous as it is, and as many decks as this is in, still not that expensive. Good choice, good card for draft. It's just not where the value lies. Next up, Mirror Entity, a card that I am absolutely pissed wasn't worth money when it was in MM2 because I kept pulling it and I'm like, this is a really good card. What the hell is wrong with people? Nope, it's about $1.50 on pre-order right now. In the last, 6 years, never even went up. That's a shame. Next up, we got Crystal Shard. Once again, interesting card, but it's only $1.80, and that's the original Mirrodin edition. Next up, we got a Mythic from the actual set of cards, the Time Spiral Remastered part. So will this be harder to pull, and you'll get less copies of it than a really hot card off of the purple rarity? Well, assuming they're all printed evenly, yes, this would be harder to pull. If that's not the case, then it's pretty close anyway. I'd say no. So overall, I have my doubts that this would contribute a whole lot of value to the set. Remember, mythics are basically just in the rare pool, in the rare slot, but at half prevalence compared to the other like 55, 60-ish rare cards. So your odds of pulling a Damnation are right around 0. Now that said, this is a $40 card right here. So people are saying that it's going to pre-order around 25 to 30. I agree with that. Not a real big supply of these going around, honestly. It was in MM3, shockingly enough. That's about it, unless you want to count, let's see, the masterpiece from, it was an invocation from Hour of Devastation, which is still sitting around $150 to $170. Nice. So yeah, finally, a big jackpot card, except, I mean, I've seen bigger, and also, you're not going to pull this. Don't count on it. Next up, Thoughtseize. Here we go. Well, as famous as this was, it was just in Double Masters, which brings it right down to about $15, not considering that it was just announced for this one, so this reprint could bring it right down to $10, so not terrible. Good pull, but, I mean, I don't think $10 is going to make up for all the other 25-cent cards. Next up, Ethereal Armor, which I started playing around RTR, and I don't recognize this card. That's not usual. Strangely enough, the original is 59 cents, and then they're pre-ordering the Time Spiral Remastered edition at 99 cents, so explain that one. Next up, we've got Harvester of Souls with the allegedly uppercase letter H at the beginning. I'm so glad they brought that back. That was definitely a popular thing that people definitely didn't meme on for decades. Yeah, this card's about $1. Next up, we've got Yawgmoth, Thran Physician, before he got assimilated by the Borg. This might be the winner so far with the value, if I remember correctly. Full disclosure, I wasn't paying very close attention to any of these. The original is from Modern Horizons, and that's the only time he was printed. So that edition is $23. But I guess people really, really like the old frames, according to my own survey. I don't know what the hell is wrong with you people. You can barely even tell on the red cards that the purple symbol is purple. The font looks like complete ass, and anything printed on a white background is virtually unreadable. The background textures on the card frame look like they were made in MS Paint in 1998. I honestly don't know what the actual hell is wrong with people who prefer these. Other than, nostalgia, they look the way I remember. Well, cool, and then 3 seconds later, I can't read the card. Like, does that not click in your head? Maybe they look better in person than digital, and I say that having sold thousands of older cards and knowing that's not true. Anyway, the new frame of this, the new old frame, is pre-ordering at $28, which is $5 more than the Modern Horizon one that actually looks good. Whatever, we finally got a money card. Too bad the packs are going to be like $7-8. Next up, interesting card, Vampire Hex Mage. Unfortunately, it's only worth about 25 cents. Then we've got Read the Bones. I don't even need to look that up. It was printed to death, probably between 25 and 50 cents. Practically a staple card at this point, although they have printed improved versions of this that just have a little bit of an advantage in the way they're phrased, or the amount of life or whatever. Next up, we got Stinkweed Imp. I don't know what's going on with that little headstone before the S. I remember that that's a thing that means something, but I don't remember what. Well, who cares? The card is around 70 cents. Next up, Goblin Engineer. Now, this is another one where I just don't get it. The Modern Horizons version of it, which is the only other printing, was $2.30, but this frame of it is $6. Maybe Card Kingdom has just lost their mind. I don't know. Wouldn't be the first time. Next up, we got a True Blue Mythic here, Wheel of Fate. Just another broken suspend card where they had to put the color identity on it because it doesn't even have a casting cost, which I think effectively means it has a CMC of 0, which means you can like fetch it artificially and like free cast it in some conditions because it really costs a suspend cost, but not according to the rules. And just Time Spiral was a bit of a mess with this suspend nonsense. Plus, they seem to think it was a good idea to just take Power 9, write suspend on it, and say it's not a functional reprint. Anyway, as insane as this card is, it's only $1.50. Next up, we got Arcanista da Horda Medonha. I don't think that's Spanish, but the card doesn't say because it's the ugly, stupid old frame. Okay, I looked it up because I thought it might be a money card, and it turns out, yeah, it's Dreadhorde Arcanist. Strangely enough, despite the art not from Space Egypt, that's actually a War of the Spark card, and the current version of that is going for $3.50. Next up, Alesha Who Smiles at Death, which is settling in at a nice comfortable 35 cents currently, which means this will probably knock it down the rest of the way to 25 cents. Next up, we have a formerly very expensive card, Anger of the Gods. It was, probably over $8 when it was in standard, I would think. Of course, original Theros. But since it's printing, we've had better versions of this. At least one, maybe like 3. I mean, I feel like they've gone kind of hard on the red spells that do a lot of damage. I think Thunderous Wrath right now beats it. I don't know. It's 3 damage to each creature, which was good at the time. But unfortunately, this card settled down to about $1.50. Next up, we've got Akroma, the color-changing angel. Every time I see her, she's a different color. Well, this one's a whole $2.50. And this is one of the native mythics in the set, although they went with the modern frame specifically, I assume, because she's legendary. Okay. Just throw consistency out the window then, I guess. Next up, we've got Grey Merchant of Asphadel, which has fallen to an amazing 25 cents. Great. Everybody hates him. Every time he's in anything, people get pissed. And he definitely ruins a lot of draft games. So, great. They put this in. Yay. What a great money include at a quarter. Next up, another actual mythic in the set. It's Living End, and you might think, wait a minute, there's like a bunch of decks that run that. Yeah, but that doesn't stop it from being $6, apparently. Even the original from Time Spiral was $7.50. I thought this was like a $50 card. I don't know, I just assumed. I guess not. I don't know, do people even play Living End anymore? Next up, Feldon of the Third Path. Why they felt like including this, I don't know, but explain this one to me. The Commander 2019 version of him is 79 cents. This god-awful ugly garbage frame is $3. I mean, if they think they can get it, I don't. Next up, Liliana's Triumph, which was just printed in War of the Spark, and it's 39 cents. So, not sure why they wanted to do that, but, oh god, they must have lost their minds. Card Kingdom is currently pre-ordering this at $2.49. So, what is that, 7 times more money? Pretty close to it, 6 times? Yeah, you're not going to get that, especially since there's the Open House Full Art Foil at $2.49. Although that is a foil, aka Bendy Boy, so maybe people don't want it. Next up, Bedlam Reveler, a card from Eldritch Moon, which is still about $3. So, I guess this ugly garbage frame is worth an extra $2 because they got it pre-ordering at $5. I can't wait to see all these drop. They are very optimistic about people's nostalgia blast for a card that wasn't even looking like this in the first place. Next up, Kiki Jiki Mirror Breaker. He used to be worth money before they banned the deck he was in. Now, I mean, he didn't fall that far. The Iconic Masters edition of him is $14, and so is the MM2. So, you know, hey. Although the geniuses at Card Kingdom think that this old frame is going to make people pay $35. That's, optimistic. Next up, Lava Spike, the card that famously is barely worth selling on a buy list if you can come across it. But yeah, I mean, the MM1 and the Champions of Kamigawa versions are $3.50. I'm going to keep reading this just so you know how ridiculous this is. Card Kingdom has the new, old, fake, old, never looked like this ever version of it at $10. Yeah, that'll happen. Next up, Atali Primal Storm, which was just printed in Rivals of Ixalan, and it's only $2, so questionable to include there. Next up, Past in Flames. They brought back that little weird headstone thing. This probably means something. Why they would reprint a card that was in the signature Spellbook Chandra, I don't know, because that version's only $2.80. But Card Kingdom thinks you'll pay $8 for this version, so don't do that. Next up, Vandal Blast. It is an RTR card, actually, that was only ever in Commander 2015 after that. So this one's actually pretty valuable. I mean, right now you can get it for $7. Dumbass Seattle Kingdom thinks that you're going to pay $12 for this. They are wrong. Next up, Teamer Battle Rage. Popular card, I guess, kind of. Still only 25 cents, though. Unless you feel like paying 8 times more for it in this god-awful, ugly, fake old frame. Next up, awesome card, Exquisite Firecraft from Magic Origins. Loved it. That set was awesome. But this card is only $1.30. Next up, ooh, here we go, Monastery Swiftspear. One of the most hated cards at the time in Standard. Still to this day, even though it was printed in Iconic Masters, about $2.50 to like $3, depending upon where you buy it. Card Kingdom thinks you're going to pay $10 for this. That price is like a borderline scam at that point. Just buy the better looking, more legible IMA version. Next up, Zealous Conscripts, a card from Avacyn Restored. Despite the age though, only $1.50. Next up, Molten Rain. Now why they felt like putting in a land destruction card, which is one of the most hated archetypes in the game, from all the way in Mirrodin, that still is only worth 25 cents. Completely beyond me, but why does Wizards do half the crazy crap they do? Nobody knows. Not even themselves. Next up, oh, it wouldn't be an awful product without Teferi. We got Teferi, Mage of Zolfier. Oh boy. Didn't he make an entire province disappear by accident and then brought it back like 80 years later? Yeah, Teferi's kind of an asshole. So this wonderful card is about $5. So not even worth the price of the pack, and it's a mythic. This set is not looking good in case you haven't caught on to that. Next up, it's Krovak's Ascendant Hero. Oh, I knew him from somewhere. He's in Sugar Hill Gang. And also from Planar Chaos. But yeah, this native mythic is a whopping $1. Yeah, Sugar Hill Gang kind of was a one-hit wonder. Not surprised. Next up, we got another native mythic here. It's Restore Balance. I'd say odd choice, but I mean, the Time Spiral block was only like 3 sets, right? So there's not that many to choose from. This was a rare back then. I don't remember if Mythic was even invented. I don't think it was at that point, but they've upshifted it, even though it's a $2.50 card, and then they're pre-ordering this version of it at $2 instead of $2.50. That's kind of funny. There's really not that many bomb cards from back then to choose from, and if it's worth money, I guarantee they put it in, obviously. Although, I mean, Battle at the Bridge wasn't included in the redo on Arena of Kaladesh. And next up, I'm sure you've seen this one floating around. It's one of the native mythics in the set, of course, Ancestral Vision, aka Discount Ancestral Recall, which is one of the Power 9 cards. And by discount, I mean it's currently worth $3. And I mean, that is a bit of a discount. You gotta wait 4 turns, unless you somehow cheat that, which is what everybody did. But yeah, this is about, I mean, it's hard to say, but around $7,000-ish. If you wanted the true blue Ancestral Recall. So, I mean, pay $3, wait 4 turns, save $6,997. I mean, that's a deal even if you lose the game because of it. So that's it for today's list. I mean, we got a couple bombs, some of them in the Mythic slot, some of them in the Purple Rarity slot, aka, what they call it, the bonus sheet, aka the time-shifted list. There's all kinds of names for it. I should just call them the purple cards because then everybody knows what we're talking about. But just as an average, not a lot of value added to that slot and not a lot of value added to the rare slot. This, so far still, and we've seen about half the cards, does not look like anything in this set justifies the price of the pack. It's honestly pointing at just kind of feeling it out mentally. You'd lose about 25 to 50% per pack that you opened right now with the information that we have. So, yikes. I mean, I said even a couple days ago before spoilers really started that I was looking forward to this from a financial standpoint because they're just going to take 121 cards, go 1 per booster, and make it a miniature master set. Basically Eternal Masters. And it looks like they did do that, but then they forgot to put any value in it. I assumed that was like the hook to get people to buy it was, yeah, it's Time Spiral. Yeah, it's, ooh, I played back then and I want to draft it again. Ooh, fun, I'm going to buy it. Cool. Well, that's 1% of people. The other 99% just want to open it to get some money out of it, you know, to sell some cards, get some value, put some stuff in their trade binder. Subsidize some or all of the purchase by selling the cards they aren't interested in on a buy list or just, you know, whatever people do. Now that we've seen most of the cards or some of the cards or half the cards or whatever it is, ooh, boy, does this look like a bad financial prospect. So I have flipped completely on this in like the last 3 or 4 days from, ooh, I'm excited, this will probably be good, to this looks like absolute garbage. So might flip back if they start, you know, just pounding $30 cards into the purple card slot thing. Otherwise, I mean, this looks so bad, I'm wondering if it stays at this rate, if people will actually even, like, bother with the collector's booster, because usually that's the one you open for the money. Well, if the whole set's not worth money, like, why would anybody touch it? If you're going to buy it just to buy it, to draft it or whatever you're doing, you're going to buy the cheapest one, because unless you just like pretty cards, the collector's booster is the one that you buy if you're most interested in getting the highest return for your money, typically. So unless there's something that they're yet to reveal about like some extra slot, a box topper, I don't know. I mean, you get that box order bonus, but I think that's like a WPN card that's outside the box that's while supplies last at your store. So you're not exactly guaranteed one of them, and it's not that expensive. Yeah, it's a Lotus card, but it's not that expensive. And if the boxes are like upwards of $200 locally, ooh boy, I mean, I don't think like a, $20, $30 card is going to subsidize that very much. I mean, it's not nothing, but it's pretty damn close. But as with every other sealed product, I mean, if it's really, really bad on opening value, just buy the singles you want. And if it's really, really good on opening value, then buy the packs and open it until you get the cards that you want or money enough to trade for, or, you know, buy list in-store credit or whatever, trade in your cards for the ones you did want. So no matter how good or bad a set is, you just act accordingly, and it's a win-win for the customer. They just have to act differently and either buy singles or buy sealed. And the more drastically it swings one way or the other, the more it benefits you. Because if this is like a terrible box EV, like we're talking sub 150, the singles from it aren't going to be worth crap. And then if you talk about like Ultimate Masters or even Double Masters, my gosh, you buy one pack, you're like expected to double up on it on the day one on average. I mean, you might as well just like hand the shopkeeper $10 for a pack and they just hand you a $20 bill, because that's pretty much what they're doing, at least, you know, in large amounts of packs where it's enough to even out, which, I mean, really is like 4 cases of boxes. Most people don't buy that much, but like in general, on the average, people would see a return from opening that. So like I said, just act accordingly to whether it's a good set or a bad set from a value prospect, and you will win every time. And you'll also win if you just completely ignore all the dumb stuff that they're bringing out and buy something else more valuable that isn't magic cards, like a gun and ammo, or some long shelf life survival food, which you should package yourself. Go look at my other channel. Emergency survival tips, link in the description. So, hey, That channel is about 1 day away from getting approved for monetizing with ads, which means the really crazy stuff is going to start uploading basically after I finish my taxes. Good timing anyway. So thanks for watching. Watch for more updates on the Time Spiral saga of spoilers here. I'm personally very curious if it'll turn around value-wise or not, and I will try to do a box EV calculation the best I can at the end of all this. So stay tuned for that, subscribe if you aren't, and I'll see you guys next video.